Warning disclaimer, this video's purpose to explain my thoughts on all the weapons, endemic life, and wyvern riding in Monster Hunter Rise. I do not care about speedrunning Mizu solo for each weapon as fast as possible or the damage values of everything. All that matters to me in this video is the efficiency and playability of each weapon, endemic life, and wyvern riding in my own experience and opinion. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video about Monster Hunter Rise. I have obtained a lot of attention and subscribers from the recent reaction video and my stream. Take note that I do not enjoy making reaction videos, but it is a major way to get attention, unfortunately. That is why I try my best to make more than a reaction video by editing the video to my best comedic ability. Anyways, on to the topic of this video. The demo server is about to be offline soon, so if you're watching this after February 1, the demo is either limited or unavailable. This video took me 2 to 3 weeks and of course 40 plus hours of playing the demo to get the right feel to make my own impression, experience, and opinions on Monster Hunter Rise from the demo. Please note that I am not an expert on some of the weapons of Monster Hunter Rise. During every run before the fight, I have a usual route to get the Spirit Bird buffs for health, stamina, defense, and attack for me to take advantage of. That also includes endemic life such as elemental beetles, stink mink, escargot, and puppet spider. I will mention a lot about endemic life and wyvern riding at the end of the video. Please take note once again, I am not expert on some of the weapons, but of course, be nice. We are all a community here. We help each other out. The first weapon is the Greatsword. I'm usually not a fan of slow weapons, but thanks to this game, the Greatsword proved worthy of my attention. I have played the Greatsword in the past and started getting into Greatsword in Iceborne. However, I just couldn't keep up with majority of the monsters in Iceborne because the game was difficult in a very different way. So I stopped. Until I played the Greatsword in the demo for Monster Hunter Rise, which made it easier to use because of the wirebook skills. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. The Wirebook skills allowed me to keep up the speed of the monsters, and that included Mizusune, who became faster than what he was in Monster Hunter Generations. I am a bit familiar with what to do with the Greatsword because of Iceborne's Savajiva. I do 2 tackles and go for the True Charge Slash, which can give a whopping 300 to 400 plus damage to monsters. The weapon is still slow, but the Wirebook abilities, it is truly a nightmare. Ho 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 ho! Can you jump on me? Oh ho ho. There you go. Overall, I can play Greatsword without complaining about the movement speed thanks to the Wirebook. Next up is the Longsword. This weapon has a notorious reputation in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I say notorious because many people call this weapon a weapon for weebs. This is honestly disappointing and disrespectful for most of the longsword users, like me, that love to play with aggressive counters and evasive counters, and look good while doing it. When I played Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, the first Monster Hunter I played, my first weapon of choice was the longsword. But later, I deviated away from it until Iceborne, which became the most overpowered broken weapon in Monster Hunter history at that time. The longsword still is overpowered, however, it's not the only overpowered weapon in this game. I am just a fan of longsword because of the ability to punish monsters for trying to attack me. Oh, perfect. Of course, it also looks fancy while doing it. You like that? But playing longsword doesn't mean it's easy to use. Playing longsword is a sign that you understand how to react against monsters, knowing the monster's attack patterns and so forth. This is why I am disappointed that longsword users are getting crap about it. That is why longsword users deserve respect for knowing how to handle the monsters and their attack patterns. Oh, it may look easy, but it's not. Next up is the Sword and Shield. This weapon is usually portrayed as the default weapon for Monster Hunter games. It is a fact in the Monster Hunter community. The reason why my opinion is in the opposite direction is because everyone is different. Everyone have their different playstyles, like me. Either way, the Sword and Shield is still standing strong due to the ability for maintaining attack utilizing the Warbug windmill. Either way, the Sword and Shield is still standing strong due to the ability of maintaining attack combos and survivability. Animation. Do as much damage as possible. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes! Oh, that's the beauty. Once again, the Sword and Shield is a balanced weapon of dealing moderate damage for moderate protection because of the shield. It isn't the strongest shield, of course, because Lance and Gunlances are more of that forte, but still, it is a weapon of balance for attacking, protecting, and managing because you can use your items while your weapon is out. I don't do that because I am not an expert on Sword and Shield, but playing Sword and Shield is fun because of the amazing combos. On to the next one is Dual Blades. Now this is one of the weapons I use a lot like Longsword and Insect Glaive, and I am super glad they brought the attack evade back from Generations. The Dual Blades used to be the most overpowered weapon in Generations and Generations Ultimate due to the ability to nullify damage while dodging monsters' attacks and attacking them in the process. Come on. Yes. Come on. When I started going back to Dual Blades on the demo for Monster Hunter Rise, it felt weak and finicky. But that was because I was trying to learn the movement of the game and its Warbug movements. But after more than 40 hours of practice, I was able to finally fight with the Dual Blades properly. Oh wow, alright. Pierce and multi-slash damage that part. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you're gonna stand still there? Alright. It's your fault for staying still or compensating on life, man. Of course, the attack evade, known as Shrouded Vault, is limited compared to what it used to be in Generations. It's still a hell of a weapon for fast-paced damage to monster body parts and still maintaining that edge on monsters by evading through monster attacks unscathed. There you go! I would recommend this weapon, but it is similar, very similar to Longsword. You need to know the monster to make use of the Dual Blades effectively, but once again, you yourself can make the weapon as strong as you want it to be. Time for the knocking weapon, the hammer. The hammer is a devastating weapon that can be used a lot to break the monster's head parts. I used the hammer in the past during Generations to eliminate Alatrion's horns before it became a hell of a chore in Iceborne. An actual chore.
You're fucked.
Out of all the weapons, the hammer still is the strongest blunt weapon in terms of knockout damage. The hunting horn would count. However, the hammer's sole purpose is to bash the monster's head not once, not twice, but throughout majority of the fight. Oh, perfect. Right there, right there. Multi-hit. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, yes, knockout. This weapon is still a beast. It's like a weapon to bish slap the monster back to where they came from. I have nothing else to say about this weapon but say that it is super strong with the charging upgrade and of course the extinction ability impact crater. Yes! 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 My long life fulfillment to kill with that combo. Oh, beautiful. Next is the God Weapon by Ichinose, the Hunting Horn. This is so obvious. This weapon is beyond broken. It's God itself.
What is happening?
is going on?
5 minutes later.
What is going on?
You can't get out. I don't know what else to say about the hunting horn. It's broken AF. But I do have a feeling that they will nerf the hunting horn in damage values, knockout values, or exhaust values. Whatever the case, it will most likely get nerfed because in each game there is a process of game designing, and that process is balancing. Don't get me wrong, I don't want the hunting horn to change at all, but my game designing knowledge knows that there needs to be something that puts a double edge on this weapon. If Capcom nerfs it, I don't mind because it is ridiculously strong. But if they don't, thank you, Capcom. And most of all, thank you, Ichinose. Next up, the Lance. This weapon has been my Achilles heel for far too long, ever since Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate and down to Iceborne. Because of the speed of the weapon, I had no interest in the weapon. What about Monster Hunter Rise? Well, it's because of the counters. Yes! Connect! Oh, beautiful! Oh, are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, beautiful! Just spit around. Oh my god, the sliding almost worked. Actually, almost worked in my favor. Man, the counters. Swing across. That's what I want. This weapon sure is slow, but it is a beast of all tanks. Lance usually has the strongest shields in Monster Hunter, and it still is. For its strong shield, you will lack speed and damage, but the attacks can be devastating after counter and after counter. I would use this weapon, but my only concern is keeping up with faster monsters. Mizusune got faster than his first appearance for sure, but I was able to handle him. However, Magnamalo is a different question. Have you seen his size? With that quick speed, it is Rajang and Zinogre in one. And this is Turf War! So that is why I would definitely use this weapon when there are other people on my side. 7 down, halfway to go. We are halfway there. If you're loving and enjoying my personal history and my thoughts on Monster Hunter and its weapons from the demo, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and share this with everyone. Well, anyone who likes other people's opinions. Next is the Gunlance. This weapon felt really weird and wonky. It's just a lance, right? A lance but with a gun. I have never played Gunlance in my own history with Monster Hunter. It seriously felt weird. Until I actually put more attention to the weapon. I was familiar with the controls through practice off-screen and during streams of Monster Hunter Rise, but I never knew the actual capabilities this game provides for Gunlance. So I was able to gain an understanding on how Gunlance can be. And then I discovered the move. The drill.
Why you?
The drill! Perfect!
Why you bullying me?
Beautiful, beautiful. I guess, in a way, I could actually just poke him. I could seriously just poke the hell out of the monster like this. And just be patient with the shots. Oh, dang it! I didn't get to insert it in your mouth. What? Oh, that sounds so wrong. What is wrong with me?
Why you bullying me?
Yeah!
Gotcha, bitch!
Oh! Well, I wasn't watching my health. I was actually having fun just poking at the monster. I was just having fun with it. Once again, it is a lance, but has more capability of dealing more damage to body parts due to explosion shots and of course, the drill. And yes, I am aware that you can blast yourself like Team Rocket. I find the Gunlance somehow refreshing to use. I do not know why. It was not like this before. Next up is a switch axe. I asked someone during one of my streams on how to use the switch axe. but I never got an answer. But I did ask how to stick a weapon in the monster and overcharge the weapon to explode. And I immediately caught on how to use the switch axe after that. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try fill it up all the way that little bar. What happens if I insert this? Oh! Oh yes! Drill him! Drill him! Oh, that was awesome. Oh my god, this thing is so powerful! What the? Why did I not play this before? When I played the Switch Axe in Monster Hunter Rise, it felt overwhelming with power and speed. I saw that there are two bars. It's hard to explain, but the outer bar is to charge up the sword to bring its full potential and deal heavy damage. However, it requires energy from the middle bar. Without it filled halfway, there will be reloading consequences. So it is about literally switching in between sword and axe constantly to make sure you're dealing the most damage possible to the monster. That's what I'm getting at, and it is safe to say that I would love to use the Switch Axe eventually in the full game of Monster Hunter Rise. Woo! The Switch Axe! Ah, I love it! So powerful! And now, the Charge Blade. My history with the Charge Blade starts off like my Insight Glaive, Monster Hunter 4. I put a lot of hours in Monster Hunter 4, played it for a very long time, which is so unhealthy. But I love the game nonetheless, so I am familiar with the Charge Blade due to its explosive capabilities. I did not know that this weapon attacks and charges faster than what it was in Monster Hunter 4, so I was pretty shocked by how fast the weapon is. But throughout that whole hunt, I felt like I was missing something. I did supercharge the shield and discharge it all on Mizutsune, but I had a feeling something was missing. I don't know what it is, but maybe Capcom is hiding an ability. Who knows? Finally, the weapon I have always used, fighting large black dragons and the great Safajiva and the terrifying Sharishvalda, the Insect Glaive. This weapon still maintains its dominance in the air. Many people claimed that you need the red nectar buff for the Insect Glaive. They do not. How to use the Insect Glaive to its full potential, because the Insect Glaive needs all the buffs to be able to do crazy aerial attacks, lasting more longer in the air, dealing mounting damage with ease. I had no problem playing with the Insect Glaive, except two new problems that would have been avoided. Problem 1 is the King Sect. It is so goddamn slow. I hate the Insect Glaive in the demos. They feel weak and slow. But problem 1 can be avoided in the full game because you can upgrade the King Sect to go faster. My only problem is the airtime lag. In Monster Hunter World, the Insect Glaive became more powerful thanks to the tornado attack in the air, which is the multi-slashing move. But after getting launched up at the end when the last hit makes contact, you get to take another action. Sounds good, right? But take a look at this. Can you see the difference? Apparently, Capcom increased the height launch for the Insect Glaive. I understand that they want the Insect Glaive to rise. Last pun. But this change is something I am not a fan of. Sure, you get to have more time to do what you want in the air, but that also leaves you higher than the monster and makes it harder to follow up and attack after that. This change makes it more difficult to aim at certain body parts in the air, because after you roll in the air animation, there is lag, where any attack buttons may not work. It happened to me several times, even when you have stamina. I tested it out with my brother as I was writing this, and apparently they did increase the height of the launch. But it's all thanks to that height of the launch I was able to cut Rathian's tail mid-air. But the only thing about this, it is screwing up my pace of combat. But my brother did mention that maybe that height launch is to make up with even larger monsters that might appear in a full game. He even mentioned that Magnamalo is way bigger than Azeros, and it could be even more bigger than Mizu and Rathian. What else can you expect if another monster is bigger than Magnamalo? I have my hopes for the big behemoths of old, but having this height change sure is straining my reflexes. I hope it's an old build for the insect glaive, or else I may have to get used to the weird change. Honestly, this is a weird thing to say coming from me who hates World Iceborne, but I still prefer Iceborne's insect glaive. But we'll see. We'll see in the full game of Monster Hunter Rise. 11 weapons are covered. The final 3 are very important because it involves a beautiful mechanic that Nintendo Switch can deliver: the gyroscope feature. Let's first check the light bowgun. I have a history with bowguns thanks to the Monster Hunter 4 and Iceborne, but the gyroscope in this game is just amazing. Even my brother who plays Splatoon 1 and 2 knows that the gyroscope is on point and smooth. The gyroscope can be handy for the insect glaive, but the gunner weapons shine the most with it. For the gunner weapons, it feels like you have full control of the weapon and you can aim better with it. You can also correct your aim. If your aim is off because the monster is moving too fast, you can easily react to its movement and ensure your shots make contact. Of course, if you are sensitive to heavy movement, like what I'm going to show you, you can do ridiculous things like this. But of course, if you're sensitive to this, gyroscope may not be a thing for you at this level of camera movement. Now, the beautiful tank of Gatling gun, the heavy bowgun. The heavy bowgun simply has more power compared to the light bowgun, of course. You can also now charge shots by holding the shoot button. I don't charge my shots, but I do use it on ammo I want to preserve, like Pierce ammo. Also, the Warbug skill that counters attacks from monsters is too good for the heavy bowgun. All it requires you is to make sure you know how to aim. Bullseye! Ooh, that was a good shot. Bullseye! Yes! That was worth it. The other Warbug skill can also help maneuver in different angles quickly since the heavy bowgun isn't fast in movement. The gyroscope on both light and heavy bowguns are just perfect. But the last weapon is where it really shines. Finally, the weapon blessed by Hachiman, the bow. The gyroscope can really help you when you're using a bow because you don't have much ammo in terms of coding. You only have 20 files for all ailments, which are blast, poison, paralysis, and sleep. You can have 50 files for the power coding and infinite files for close range coding. The reason why gyroscope can help with the bow is to ensure that you do not waste files on missed shots, because once you fire, it uses up one of the files of the equipped coding. So I suggest using gyroscope for the bow to ensure that you don't miss your shots. But once again, you don't have to use gyroscope if you are sensitive to camera movements, and of course the ability to make your bow stronger, the shots, whoo! And there is a move where you actually sling yourself up backwards and regain stamina, but it doesn't regain that much stamina compared to how much I use stamina, so that's my only complaint. But of course we don't have equipment sets, we don't have equipment skills, and that's the worst part about demos. But overall, in the end, all these weapons have ups and downs, and I am completely shocked that I find all the weapons playable than I could ever before. The endemic life on the maps is also helpful. The endemic life in this game has a greater purpose compared to World, which is ironic AF. But I am serious. The elemental beetles can be so helpful when fighting monsters, including the thunder beetle, which can make slashing weapons deal knockout damage. the brew hair, which can make certain weapons more effective. The endemic life in this game shouldn't be underestimated at all and shouldn't be overlooked. I did forget to mention that I used the spider puppet in every run to get the mount on Zuchi fast. Let me explain. For Wyvern riding, in each run I used a puppet spider to gain control of the Zuchi to deal major damage to Mizutsune. And then I exploited the emergency evade to be able to attack faster than usually waiting a Zuchi to pull its tail off the ground, which is really slow. It is a very effective way to damage the target as much as possible and to make the fight easier and of course faster. The endemic life, the Wyvern riding, and the weapons are fun in Monster Hunter Rise. All the weapons seem to be playable for me, which still shocks me. But I know that some of you hate certain weapons and love using certain weapons. Every player runs differently. And that is okay. You should embrace the feeling that you know how to use this weapon than other weapons because all that matters is having fun. Hunting monsters together is something that I grew to love every single time I play Monster Hunter. I have played Monster Hunter since Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Monster Hunter Generations and Generations Ultimate, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and now Monster Hunter Rise. I always get excited when playing with people who love to hunt and have fun. You can also join in on the fun with me as well. I won't be making a lot of the Monster Hunter Rise content until the full game releases, or when there's another trailer of course, but you can actually be ready when I do a lot of streams and make fun and funny videos from Monster Hunter Rise by subscribing and hitting the bell to know when I post videos or go live on YouTube. You can also join in on my channel Discord along with other people who have already joined the server. Oh, I can't wait to play the full game of Monster Hunter Rise, and I just can't wait to play it with all of you. If you enjoyed this video of my adventure of mastering-ish the weapons, endemic life, and wyvern riding, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and please share this video and channel to everyone, and I will greatly appreciate that. I hope to see you when the full game comes out and or future videos. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. God, I'm fucking tired. Jeez. Fuck, I'm tired. You did read a whole essay. Like 9 pages of it. Yeah, 9 pages. Oh. YouTube life. Oh, what? I was not in that! What the hell? Stupid Leviathans and their strange ass hitbox.
Hey, you can say anything about Mrs. Zuni, but then when you go Leviathan, because that includes the gear card.
Right?
you leave him out of this.
This may sound bad, but I'd rather fight him underwater than on ground.